Hi guys, how are you? Something that I wanted to bring to you guys for a while, and I finally have it in my hands because I never have it at home because I don't use it, but I found it lying around in my bag of tricks. Okay, so could your beads in your cleanser be hurting you or harming you? So what I'm talking about is these little beads right in here, okay, these little larger beads. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple of facts about it, what to look for, and some alternatives that are going to help you make better choices, especially if you have mature skin, and especially if you're really trying to work on the anti-aging, because it can actually cause more damage, okay? So when I was growing up, I used all of these things with the beads, right? Do you remember your apricot scrub that had all of those, that had all that exfoliating beads and all that stuff? Well, whether you know this or not, they found in those beads that actually most of them are plastic, okay? Most of them are plastic, and they actually cause the skin to get micro tears. They cause the skin to get micro tears. It can also cause you to pop capillaries in your skin. So if you've ever struggled with any right veiny layers on your skin from maybe when you were younger and you were using it, these little beads can cause capillaries to pop, right? Now, we've also been conditioned to feel like if we use these types of cleansers with these bursting beads that kind of make our face feel like they're like squeaky clean, right? We feel like making our face stripped and squeaky clean, that if that's what's going to be, that's what we need. Unfortunately, with oily skin, you don't want to strip your face, right? You don't want to use these large beads that are going to hurt the face, especially if you have acne or cystic acne. Can you imagine if you're causing micro tears and you have that acne on your face, how it's just moving that bacteria around? Also, an ingredient to really look for is, let me find it for you guys. There's a lot of methyls in here. Okay, one of the big thing is it has alcohol in it amongst all of the sulfates. This has sulfate in it, which means it's chemical based, has lots of tri and methyl heliax and all that stuff. Those are all products that you like, ingredients that you want to stay away from when it comes to your cleansers. And you're like, why? Well, alcohol is drying to your face. So you're sitting here with oily skin and you're drying out your face. So the only thing your skin knows what to do is to create more oil. So some of you might be like feeling like this when you come out of the bathtub or the shower, and then you feel like a grease ball. So you have to stay away from these big beads. One of the biggest reasons for just the environment you want to stay away from them, they're plastic, okay? So they're plastic, they're going down our sink, they're going down our drain, they're hitting our food chain, okay? So it's actually harming our food chain. Some states have actually banned these micro beads, okay? I know the European standards, they do not allow any of these cleansers with beads into their country. I'm telling you what, Europe bans over 1,200 ingredients just in food and cosmetics alone, and we only ban about 7. We only ban about 7, so if that tells you anything. So the first thing, you want to stay away from these big beads because I'm so sorry, I lost you there, is because it can cause those micro tears of the skin, right? Micro tears, cause the bacteria of maybe if you have anything growing on your face, especially if you have eczema, rosacea, psoriasis. You do not want to cause any irritation, any damage to it. If you have bacteria, if you have any acne, cystic acne, it's going to break those apart. You're not going to see those tears, right? Because they're minuscule. And so it's just going to make that bacteria move. Second thing, it can pop capillaries on your face. Okay, it can pop the capillaries, which will cause little, if you look here, I think I have a couple from when I was younger. I have a lot of capillaries popped right in here. You'll see them all mostly right in here in your face because that's where we usually would put our cleanser when we were younger. Remember the apricot scrub where we were like, right? I loved apricot scrub. Didn't realize it was harming me. The third thing, stay away from alcohol. The first 5 ingredients in anything you use is going to determine if it's good or bad. Good or bad. So we have water, sodium sulfate, which sulfate, we're looking for sulfate free. Glycerin. Glycerin is really harsh on the skin. It has fragrance. Fragrance is very toxic and chemical based. Perfumes, chemical based, those kinds of things. So that's just your first 5 ingredients on it. And then the last thing is this can be harmful to the environment, to our food chain, right? So these actually go inside the food chain and they cause our fish, and then the fish get ate by bears or whatever, and then it harms it. Now, what's the alternative that I do? Because I still like to exfoliate my skin, right? I'm going to wipe some of this off because it's like really gooey. I don't like how gooey it is. It's giving me like PTSD. It's giving me PTSD. So I want to show you one hand versus the other, or one side versus the other. So what I like to do is I actually like to use an exfoliation that is something that I can use every single day on my skin. But if you look here, it's small little beads. It looks like sugar, but it's actually, it has eucalyptus, but it also has aloe in it, but it has, for the minuscule exfoliating beads, it actually has like volcanic glass in it. So it's not like actual glass, okay? So it, what it does is it gently exfoliates. What? Yep, I will. Do you see these little beads here? Those are the size of your pore, okay? When you're exfoliating, you want to have an exfoliator that's the size of your pore. But also, you want to make sure the first 5 ingredients are clean and healthy, right? So I love this because it has eucalyptus. It's going to reduce the redness, reduce bacteria. It's antibacterial, antifungal. Also, aloe is really good for calming acne, men's skin, women's skin, every skin. I like to use the this cleanser a couple times a week. I don't use it if I'm going to be out in the sun because I don't want to expose a new layer of skin. So I use it on the off times, like if I'm not going to be in the sun for a couple of days. So if you see here, you see those bigger beads versus these really little beads right here. Okay, so what that also is going to do, it's actually going to collect the dirt, grime, and dead skin, and it's going to cause it to ball up, and then so it's less harsh on your skin. So a lot of people use cleansers like this every single day. Now, can you imagine your skin being like squeaky clean every single day? Now, I'm not saying a cleanser like this isn't going to make your face clean, but you have to keep that pH level like this. So cleansers like these actually will cause the pH level to go really high. So it'll be about a 7 to 8.0. You want your pH level in your cleansers and moisturizers to be at a 4.5, 5.5. Okay, you want it to be about a 4.0 to a 5.5. Why is that? Because if you have a cleanser that has a really high pH level in it, you have to have a toner that's going to bring it down. Well, what happens is you've used that cleanser, it's made your face really tight, and then you've put that toner on there, and toners usually strip it more, and so your skin is like, oh my gosh, Crystal, what am I going to do? So it starts to pump a wheel, and it starts to create more oil. So if you're using a cleanser that has a pH level of 4.0 to 5.5, you don't need a toner. You don't need a toner. Toners were something that was just introduced as another money-making thing. It's just another money-making thing. So all these cleansers are really high on the pH level scale. So you buy their toner, and then you have to use a toner. Now I will tell you, I do use a, quiet please. I do use a, like an exfoliating scrub. It's a lactic acid that has witch hazel. So that's as close to a toner as I get, and I only have to do that once a week. Why? Because I'm gently exfoliating this with my skin a couple times a week. So it's bringing that dirt to the surface, And when I use my toner exfoliating witch hazel pads that have lactic acid in it, it actually pulls that dead skin apart deeper, and then I'm getting an actual better exfoliation. So I'm lightly exfoliating, and then I'm deeply once a week. Again, do it on days that you're not going to go out in the sun. So that is the difference. So if you're using cleansers like this, that could be large bursts, exfoliators, it could be hurting you, could be harming you, could be causing destruction to your skin. So make sure you are educating yourself on ingredients. Make sure that you're looking at things, being knowledgeable, advocate for yourself. I tell people, you are the only person who can advocate for yourself. Nobody is out there to advocate for you. You have to advocate for yourself, because just because somebody tells you that something is sulfate-free, paraben-free, doesn't necessarily mean that it is. They like to hide ingredients with different names. So, okay guys, I hope this was helpful for you. If you need any advice on some over-the-counter ones that are very similar to this one, make sure you comment below beads, and I will go ahead and send that over to you.